The world begins without sound, not silence, not truly, but the deep, ancient quiet that exists before words were ever invented. Wind moves across a frozen plain, slow and patient, brushing snow over stone the way time brushes memory from bones. The sky hangs low and pale, heavy with cold, and the land breathes frost. Inside a narrow cave carved into the side of a limestone ridge, a man opens his eyes. His name, if it could be spoken in the language of the future, would be Naru, but names here are not shaped by tongues or letters. They live in gestures, in shared glances, in the warmth of bodies pressed together against death. Naru wakes before the sun not because he chooses to, but because survival has taught his body when to rise. His breath is slow and deep, filling a chest built wide and powerful by generations of winter. Each inhale warms the air just enough to be seen. Each exhale fades into the darkness like a promise that must be renewed again and again. Around him, others sleep. A child curls close to a woman whose arm is draped protectively over small shoulders. An old man lies near the fire pit, his leg twisted and useless, yet his chest still rising, still falling. He has lived many winters past the age when nature usually calls her debts. That alone is proof of something the future will forget. These people do not abandon their weak. Naru shifts slowly, careful not to disturb the fragile heat they have built through the night. Fire embers glow faintly, like tired eyes refusing to close. Outside the cave, the wind sharpens, scraping ice across rock, reminding them all that the world beyond this shelter does not care if they wake again. He stands. Even in stillness, his body speaks of purpose. Thick bones, dense muscle, hands shaped less for beauty than for holding on. His body is not clumsy, not crude, it is precise. Built for this place, built for this cold, built to last. He steps toward the cave entrance and looks out. The land stretches endlessly, white and gray, broken only by dark lines of trees bent low beneath snow. Somewhere beyond the horizon, glaciers move inch by inch, crushing mountains as easily as a hand closes around dry leaves. This world kills quickly and without apology. Yet Naru feels no fear. Fear is a luxury. It wastes energy. Instead, there is focus, awareness, a quiet acceptance that today, like every day before it, must be earned. Behind him, the child stirs. Naru turns. The child's eyes open, dark and curious, reflecting firelight. For a moment they look at each other. No words pass between them, but everything that matters is understood. You are here. I am here. We survived the night. Naru reaches down and places a piece of dried marrow into the child's small hand. The child grips it tightly, not smiling, but safe. That is enough. The woman wakes next. She meets Nehru's gaze and nods once. Trust flows between them like blood unquestioned, essential. She knows he will go out into the cold. She knows he may not return, and she knows that if he does, it will be with life in his hands. Outside, dawn struggles into existence. The sky lightens just enough to reveal movement in the distant shadows against snow. Animals, large ones, their tracks cut deep into the ground, heavy with muscle and fur, food, danger. The same thing, always. Naru steps out into the cold. The shock bites immediately, clawing at skin, burning lungs, but his body does not panic. His nose is wide, built to warm the air before it reaches his chest. His blood moves thick and steady. He has walked into worse. As he moves, memories move with him. Not memories of words or stories, but of hands guiding his own when he was small. Of falling, of getting up. Of the first hunt where his throw missed and the animal escaped, and the quiet disappointment in his father's eyes. Not anger, never anger, only expectation. Expectation is how love survives here. He reaches a ridge and crouches low, scanning the land. His eyes are sharp, trained to notice what does not belong. A broken branch, a shadow to still. The ground tells stories to those who know how to listen, and Naru listens. A herd passed through during the night, large, slow, weakened by winter. The kind of gift nature gives sparingly, as if to test whether it will be respected. Naru signals back toward the cave. Others emerge now to more men, faces hardened by cold, eyes calm. They move without sound, spreading out their bodies low against the wind. This is not chaos, this is design. Every movement shaped by thousands of hunts before this one. They advance. Hours pass, or perhaps moments. Time does not behave the same way here. The cold numbs it, stretches it thin. Finally, the animal breaks from the herd, stumbling, old, tired, alive only because it has not yet learned that it should be dead. The moment comes. Naru rises, muscles tightening, breath steady. He throws. The impact is heavy, final. The animal falls. Snow explodes into the air, then settles again, indifferent. For a moment no one moves. Then they approach slowly. Respect first, gratitude second, survival last. Naru places his hand on the animal's thick hide. Warmth bleeds into the snow. Life given, life taken, balance held. They work quickly, hands efficient, practiced. Nothing is wasted, nothing is hurried. The meat will feed children, elders, those who cannot hunt anymore. Strength here is not measured by what you take, but by what you bring back. As they begin the long return, clouds gather overhead. The wind shifts. Snow starts to fall again, soft at first, then heavier, erasing tracks almost as soon as they are made. The world is closing in. By the time they reach the cave, the fire has been rebuilt. The child runs forward, eyes wide, touching the fur with wonder. The elder lifts his head, smiling faintly, knowing there will be another day. Naru sets the meat down and sits near the fire. His hands ache, his shoulders burn, his body will hurt tonight, but he is alive. As the storm thickens outside, the cave fills with warmth, with breath, with quiet movement. Someone hums a low sound, barely a sound at all. It is not a song, but it is close. Naru leans back against the stone wall and closes his eyes. He does not know that the world will change. He does not know that one day others will walk these lands taller, thinner, different. He does not know that his kind will be remembered as monsters, brutes, mistakes. All he knows is this moment, the fire, the people, the breath moving in and out of his chest. And in this frozen world, that is everything. The wind howls outside, but inside the cave, life holds on. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Morning does not arrive gently. It forces itself into the world with a sharp brightness that reflects off endless white, turning snow into a field of burning light. Cold presses down from every direction, heavy and unrelenting, as if the sky itself has lowered to test the strength of everything beneath it. Naru wakes with the fire already dying. Ash drifts in the air when he shifts his weight, and the smell of smoke clings to his hair and skin. Around him, the cave breathes slow, uneven, alive with the presence of bodies that have endured another night. The child is awake again, sitting near the entrance, watching flakes of snow fall as if each one is a question the world refuses to answer. Naru rises, joints stiff, muscles aching from the hunt. Pain is familiar, pain is information. It tells him he still belongs to this body. Outside, the cold cuts deeper than before. He steps into it anyway. The land has changed overnight. Tracks from yesterday's hunt are gone, swallowed by fresh snow. Even memory leaves little mark here. If something is to be known, it must be known again each day. The others follow him, out quiet, deliberate. They gather near the ridge, where wind scours the stone clean. Below them, the forest waits, dark and tangled, hiding both shelter and death within its shadows. They move downward carefully. Branches snap beneath heavy steps, but sound carries differently in the cold. Naru's body is built for this place. His wide chest pulls in air that would freeze narrower lungs. His legs drive him forward through snow that would trap lighter frames. Each muscle, each bone, is the answer to a question the Ice Age keeps asking. Inside the forest, the world softens. Snow settles thick on branches, muffling sound. The air smells of sap and damp bark. Somewhere ahead, something moves slow, labored. Naru raises his hand, and the group stops instantly. They wait. Time stretches. A large shape emerges between the tress massive shoulders. Matted fur, breath steaming in the cold. It limps slightly, favoring one leg. Weakness shows itself in small ways. Nature leaves clues for those who are patient enough to read them. They do not rush. Naru feels his heartbeat steady, not fast. Fear does not spike. There is only focus, sharpened by generations who learned that panic kills faster than claws. The animal collapses before they reach it. Age has taken its claim. The world is not kind to the old, not unless someone chooses to be. Naru approaches slowly, placing his hand on the creature's side. The breath is shallow now, fading. There is no struggle, only exhaustion. When the animal is gone, they stand in silence. This silence matters. It is not emptiness, it is recognition. Life is taken only because life must continue. There is no celebration. There is no cruelty. Strength does not need to announce itself. They work together, hands moving with quiet efficiency. Meat is separated, bones set aside, sinew kept carefully. Even the hide will be used. Nothing is wasted. Waste is an insult to survival. The load is heavy when they begin the journey back, but no one complains. Strength here is shared. When one slows, another steps closer. When a hand slips, another grips tighter. Halfway back, something unexpected happens. A man stumbles. His foot sinks into hidden ice, and he falls hard, twisting awkwardly. A sharp sound escapes him, not a cry, but something close. He does not rise immediately. Naru is beside him in moments. The man's leg bends at an angle it should not. Pain sharpens his breath. His jaw tightens, but he does not scream. Screaming wastes air. Screaming draws predators. Naru kneels, examining the injury with calm eyes. His fingers press gently along bone and muscle, reading damage the way others read weather. The leg is broken. In another world, in another species, this would be the end. But here, it is not. They fashion a splint from wood and sinew, hands steady despite the cold. The injured man leans heavily against Naru as they rise. Every step is slow, deliberate. Progress shrinks 2 inches, but they move anyway. The storm returns as they reach the cave. Inside, the others react instantly. The woman pulls the child away. The elder shifts closer, watching with knowing eyes. They lower the injured man near the fire, adjust his leg, feed him warm marrow. No one questions whether he is worth the effort. He is here. That is enough. Days pass. The injured man lives. His pain fades slowly. His leg will never be the same, but he breathes. He eats. He laughs quietly at something the child does, an awkward sound, unused, but real. Naru watches him often, thinking not in words, but in feeling. This is what strength means. Not speed, not dominance, endurance, care, the refusal to let the weak vanish quietly. Winter deepens. Snow piles higher. The hunts become harder. Food grows scarce. The world tightens its grip, squeezing life thinner with each passing day. Yet the cave remains alive. Fire burns every night. Stories are told without language, through gesture, through shared silence, through the simple act of being close. The child grows stronger, steadier. The elder survives another winter, and another. Naru feels time moving through him, carving its mark into his body the way ice shapes stone. One night, as the fire crackles low, he notices something strange. A scent on the wind, not animal, not familiar, different. He steps outside, scanning the darkness far across the frozen plain. A faint glow flickers, small, distant, deliberate. Fire, but not theirs. Naru stands very still. The world feels suddenly larger and more crowded than it did before. He does not know who stands around that fire. He does not know what they want. He only knows that something has changed. Inside the cave, the child sleeps peacefully. The injured man breathes evenly. The elder's chest rises and falls. Naru turns back toward them. Whatever is coming, this strength, the kind that protects, the kind that carries the broken, will be needed more than ever. Outside, the distant fire burns on, steady and unfamiliar, as the snow continues to fall. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. The fire across the plain does not disappear. Night after night, it returns, sometimes dim, sometimes bright, always distant, always there. At first, Naru tells himself it means nothing. Fire can be many things. Lightning, wandering animals, knocking sparks loose from stone. The world is wide, and not every light belongs to danger. But the world has begun to feel different. The wind carries unfamiliar scents, now smoke that does not smell like their own. Sharp and thin, mixed with something else. Movement appears where none existed before. Tracks in the snow that are lighter, narrower, strange. Feet shaped like theirs, but not quite. Naru studies the ground for a long time. One morning, crouched low as frost numbs his fingers, he traces the outline of a footprint with care. Whoever made it walked upright. Whoever made it moved quickly. Too quickly. He straightens slowly, his chest tightening not with fear, but with recognition. This is not prey. This is not predator. This is someone else. Life continues, because it must. They hunt, they gather, they survive. But something fragile has shifted beneath their feet, like ice thinning under weight. The herds move differently now, changing paths, avoiding familiar valleys. Food becomes harder to find. Days stretch longer, emptier. Then loss arrives quietly. It comes in the form of a child who does not wake. The night had been cold, colder than most. The fire burned low despite careful tending. The child had slept curled between bodies, small hands tucked beneath chin, breath shallow but steady, until it wasn't. The woman notices first. There is no scream, only a sound, like breath being pulled inward and held there, trapped. She gathers the child against her chest, rocking gently, as if warmth alone might undo what the cold has taken. Naru watches, helpless. The elder bows his head. Others turn away, eyes fixed on stone walls as if answers might be written there. The child is wrapped carefully, laid near the fire one last time. Hands touch small fingers, one by one. No one speaks. Grief does not need sound. When they carry the child outside, snow falls softly, indifferent. The ground accepts the body without resistance. The cave feels larger afterward. Hollows form where laughter once existed, where small footsteps once followed larger ones. The woman's eyes grow distant. The fire seems colder, no matter how much would they feed it. Naru feels something inside him crack, not loudly, not all at once, but slowly, like stone under centuries of ice. The world presses harder. Another hunt fails. Then another. Hunger sharpens faces, tightens movements. The injured man limps now, useful but slower. The elder coughs more often, chest rattling like dry leaves. One evening Naru does not return alone. He comes back bleeding. A deep cut along his arm seeps dark against pale skin. His breathing is uneven, his eyes distant. They gather around him instantly, pressing cloth to the wound, cleaning it with melted snow and ash. It had not been attacked by an animal. He had seen them. Not close, not yet, but close enough. Figures moving along the edge of the forest, tall, thin, their bodies narrower, their faces different, their eyes sharp with a kind of alertness Naru has never seen before. They carried tools shaped differently, lighter, thrown farther. They did not approach. They watched. The knowledge settles heavily in the cave, sinking into every breath. They are no longer alone in this world. The land is being shared, and the land does not have enough mercy for two. Days pass, then weeks. The fires across the plain multiply. One becomes two, then three, distant, scattered, impossible to ignore. The herds thin further. Winter does not loosen its grip. It tightens it, squeezing life harder, demanding payment. The elder dies during the night, peacefully, at least. His breathing slows, then stops, as the fire burns low beside him. His face holds no fear, only exhaustion, and something like acceptance. They bury him near the child. 2 small mounds in the snow. 2 stories the wind will eventually erase. Naru stands over them long after the others have returned inside. Snow gathers on his shoulders. Cold seeps through his skin. He does not move. For the first time, he feels something close to despair. Not panic, not terror. A quiet understanding that the world they know is ending, not with violence, but with forgetting. One evening, it happens. They see each other clearly. Across a narrow valley, shapes emerge from the trees, taller than Naru, lighter built. Their faces, strange foreheads higher, jaws smaller, eyes restless. They wear furs like Neanderthals do, but differently. They move faster, speak in sharp, quick sounds that cut the air. Both groups stop. Snow falls between them, soft and slow. No one advances, no one retreats. For a long moment, the world holds its breath. Naru feels the weight of his body, his strength, his scars. He feels the memory of the child, the elder, the wounded man. He feels time pressing behind him, pushing him forward whether he wishes it or not. The others feel it too. Then, without signal or sound, the strangers step back into the trees. They vanish as quickly as they appeared. But something irreversible has happened. From that day on, survival becomes thinner, harder. The hunts grow desperate. The cold grows sharper. Fewer fires burn inside the cave each night. One by one, the familiar faces disappear. Some die quietly. Some wander off and do not return. Some simply lie down and choose not to rise again. Naru grows old. His movements slow, his throws fall short. His strength remains, but time has begun to take its share. One night, alone near the fire, he scratches lines into stone with a sharp fragment of bone, not words, marks, proof that he was here, proof that they all were. Outside, the wind howls through an emptier world. Fires burn in the distance, brighter now, more numerous. The snow continues to fall, covering tracks, covering memories, covering lives. Inside the cave, Naru closes his eyes. The world has changed forever. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. It flickers low against the stone, struggling to hold its shape, the way an old body struggles to hold warmth. Naru sits beside it, wrapped in thick hide, his back curved, his hands resting on knees that no longer rise as easily as they once did. Each breath moves slowly through his chest, deep but measured, as if he is careful not to waste what remains. The cave is quiet, not empty, never empty, but quiet in a way that feels final. Fewer bodies share the space now, fewer breaths mingle in the air. The injured man sleeps nearby, his legs stiff, his hair streaked with gray. The woman sits close to the wall, eyes distant, her hands folded where a child once slept. Outside, the storm has softened. Snow falls gently, almost kindly, as if the world has grown tired of cruelty. Naru watches the fire. Its light dances across the cave walls, catching old marks carved into stone, long ago lines scratched by hands that are gone now. He remembers making some of them. Others were already there when he was young. He never knew who carved them, only that someone felt the need to leave proof. Memory stirs in him, not as images, but as sensation. The weight of a spear, the warmth of shared fire, the ache of loss. His body carries these memories the way stone carries the cold, deep, enduring, silent. When sleep takes him, it comes gently. Dreams rise like mist. He walks across a plain without snow. The air is warm. Grass bends beneath his feet. Faces surround him, some familiar, some strange, taller bodies, lighter frames, eyes that look like his, but different. They move past him without fear, without struggle. He wakes with a slow breath, unsure of where he is for a moment. The fire is still there. So is the pain in his joints, the heaviness in his chest. His body reminds him that time has finished its work. Naru reaches forward, feeding the fire one last piece of wood. The flame responds weakly, then steadies. He watches it, satisfied. Outside, footsteps pass, not his people. He does not rise. He does not need to. He has already walked his path. The others move through the world. Know those who came later. They hunt differently, speak differently, dream differently, but they carry something old within them, whether they know it or not. Naru feels no anger, only curiosity, only peace. The injured man stirs and opens his eyes. They look at each other for a long time. There are no words between them, but there is understanding. The injured man reaches out and grips Naru's hand, once strong, now thin, but still warm. It is enough. As night deepens, Naru's breathing slows. Each inhale is a careful act. Each exhale lingers, like it is reluctant to leave. His thoughts drift not forward, but outward. He does not know what will become of the world. He does not know that one day his bones will be found, studied, measured, misunderstood. He does not know that his kind will be called primitive, lesser, gone. What he knows is this: he lived, he endured, he belonged. The fire dims. Snow continues to fall outside, layering the land in quiet white. Time moves on, as it always has, indifferent and unstoppable. And yet long after the cave grows cold, long after the stone remembers no names, something of Naru remains. It lives in strength that appears without explanation, in resilience that defies reason, in instincts that rise when the world grows harsh. It lives in bodies that walk upright in warmer lands, carrying ancient blood beneath modern skin. The Neanderthals do not vanish. They change, they blend, they endure. Naru exhales one final time. The fire goes out, but the story does not end. It continues in every breath taken by those who came after, by those who feel strong in the cold, who survive when they should not, who carry the past without knowing its name. If you listen closely, in the quiet moments before sleep, you can still hear them, breathing. Please like, share and subscribe my channel.